Alastair Cook has revealed how close he came to the end of his record-breaking career during England's latest Ashes defeat, before he was rescued by a perfect demonstration of the powers that have made him England's leading run scorer. A near-deserted Seddon Park yesterday at the end of a few warm-up exercises could not have been further away from the heat and pressure of the Boxing Day test at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Now, on the eve of a two-test series he feels will define this England team, Cook spoke of the doubts that engulfed him as he struggled to make any sort of an impact against Australia. "To bat as badly as I did for pretty much 2 months and then for 10 hours to bat as well as I've ever done was quite strange," said Cook of the Ashes debacle and the double century which followed in the fourth test. "There were some dark moments on that tour when I could have said, I don't need this anymore and just jacked it in. But to keep going and then deliver like that proved I've got something." But you always doubt yourself. That's a natural thing. It doesn't get any easier the more you play. When a slightly older player isn't scoring many runs, it's an easy story to write. Is he going to give up? Is he thinking about it? I questioned myself when it got tough. Am I still good enough to play at the real elite level? I knew the hunger hadn't gone, but was it all worth it? Melbourne was as hard as it could be mentally because I was thinking, if I get another couple of low scores things are really going to get hard for me. So to bat the way I did. v New Zealand, first test, March 22, 1 a.m., Sky Sports. Cook, Stoneman, Malin, Root, Captain, Stokes, Barstow, WKT, Moeen, Wokes, Overton, Broad, Anderson. Cook's habit of not quite finishing sentences was, on this occasion, perfectly eloquent. He made an unbeaten 244 at the McGee and now is clearly confident in his ability to carry on as Joe Root's senior lieutenant. As he attempts to bring consistency to a test team who have failed to match their one-day progress, it takes less time getting used to not being captain than the other way round, said Cook. When you first go back to the ranks there's that eggshell moment when you're not sure how much you should say in the dressing room. But I do now feel I can tell Rudy what I feel and it's up to him if he then uses it. If I do talk in a meeting I make sure I'm clear on what I want to say because I know the impact an ex-captain can have. England may only be playing New Zealand in 2 tests here in Auckland and Christchurch, but their importance is huge post-Ashes, not least to a new captain who was ill and out on his feet by the end of that final test in Sydney. Joe has evolved as a captain, said Cook of his successor, who made 100 yesterday. The Ashes were a defining moment in the first bit of his captaincy but, and I can only speak from my own experience, you do grow in confidence. You really start to understand what it's all about after a year. It was always unlikely Joe would shake it up and make many big decisions at first. But, in his mind, after the Ashes he will have been thinking, how do I rebuild the side? This is an important time now because the selectors have given largely the same group of players the chance to go again and win a series against what is a very good side. The next 2 weeks could define people's futures. Ben Stokes will make his test return in a day-night game at Eden Park after his ban. If England think it is too risky for him to be their fourth-seamer, he will play as a specialist batsman at number 5, probably in place of James Vince. England batted all day yesterday, with Root making 115 against a New Zealand 11 and the bulk of their test batsmen racked up 353 for 9 in their 90 overs.